It really starts with mission, and it allows you to define yourself amongst the crowd and the noise. There are many organizations that appeal to young people, and I think what the crux of being able to attract young people and the types of young people that you want your organization to be engaged in is to understand what defines you as different from the rest. And so rooting your work in a purpose-driven agenda is really important, in being able to tell that story and what that means, and how young people who are aligned with your organization are going to be benefited is what separates you from the pack. Well, the mission and purpose of your organization is really important because it helps you decide what you're not going to do. Right. I think when you're developing a strategy to build out your business or your organization's 5-year plans, starting with an underpinning of what is your mission statement really helps you maintain focus in what you're there for. As an example, UNICEF is a child rights organization. We are in the business of enabling child rights for children all over the world. And so if something happens to a child, whether it's in the context of a child being involved in violence or subject to violence, or if it's about childhood nutrition or access to education, we know that we are going to lean in and have voice around those specific issues because it is defined in our mission. But we're not going to address forest fires. Right. So I think once you identify what your mission is, it really does allow you to maintain focus. And it also is I call it the secret sauce. It is the secret sauce that gives people a signal as to, do I want to be engaged with that organization or not? So it truly does define you, and it separates you from everyone else out there. Well, I would say that the work that organizations are doing that are directly associated with young people are realizing that youth voice is really important. And when we talk about this, the concept of child rights, it's not child right. It's not in service to the child. It's not a charitable giving to the child. But it's this empowerment. It's teaching young people to have agency around what's happening in their world. And so when you can align your organization and allow young people to have voice around issues that matter to them, it really does help beef up the purpose of your organization and the value of your organization to young people. The March for Our Lives in the United States, which was born out of violence in school, gun violence in particular, or if it's the racial justice movement we're seeing take place across the country, those are all youth-led movements. And what it's done, it's galvanized millions of young people across the globe to realize their rights, have agency, and to take these issues into their own hands. And so as you're building out an organization, giving young people the opportunity to not only compete, let's say if it's a club, compete and learn and hone their skills, but also developing them to champion their own rights and experiencing the power of having voice around issues that matter to them. That's defining for organizations. You're going to see more and more opportunities for young people to have voice. What a benefit it would be to align your organization with issues that mean something to the young people that are part of your organization, and then teach them how to take action and how to have voice around issues that matter to them. And so that is defining, because those are the things that are building skills that will help them get into college. Those are the things that are helping them define who they are, and in a constructive way, learn how to navigate a system and have social impact. First and foremost, it really needs to be authentic. And so there's a saying, Arthur Ashe used to say, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can do. And so if you start with what's defining about this organization, or what would you like this organization to stand for? And then you recruit the kids, and then you include them in the conversation. And what you're going to end up with is a convergence of what you think and what youth could think. And that is probably the best recipe for engagement. And it's the best recipe for retention. And so if you start there, if you start with what are you seeing in the world, right? We've seen just over the last few weeks how fractured our country is. And young people have a voice in that, and they deserve a voice in that. And so engaging them around issues that matter is at the crux of this. We cannot continue to do our work that is in the service of young people without listening to what they think, so that the work that we do is rooted in what they feel is purposeful. And that's the key to true youth engagement and youth empowering them to have agency to make change in the world. And so it really is about defining your organization, being authentic to what the needs are, like what you see out in the community that you think you can have a voice around, and then engaging young people to make sure that you're on the same path as they are. That's key. There are many ways to become engaged, and there are certainly opportunities for organizations as literally one-stop shopping. So UNICEF USA is an organization that has upwards of 40,000 young people who are engaged with clubs at the high school level, clubs at the college level, and clubs who are independent organizations. And what we do is we have a very tailored approach to teaching young people how to be engaged in social impact in a way that allows them to grow as individuals. We teach them how to organize in their communities. We teach them the value of advocacy and just how to do that. We teach them how to have one-to-one conversations with their local congressmen and representatives from Washington. We teach them how to advocate around issues and speak out on policies that they think are detrimental to children in their community and children across the world. So we have a framework that actually teaches young people how to engage and have social impact on the things that matter to them the most. I encourage everyone to look at unicefclubs.org, because that is the framework. You can be a high school, a college, or an organization and join UNICEF Clubs.